So you want to know what it's like to drive a Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing? Well, you've come to the right place, and we're going to go for a proper drive inside of this car. Guys, not a lot of people talk about this thing, and so it leads me to believe this is one of the most under the radar, underrated, and it's not well known, but it has so much to offer. First and foremost, let's go ahead and pop this hood and take a look at what's powering this thing. So this is a 3.6 liter twin turbo V6, and this engine is only used in the ATS-V and the CT4-V Blackwing. So a pretty rare engine, kind of just adding to the list of reasons why this car feels so special to drive. You're not going to find this in a bunch of other cars. It's got a nice V logo right on the engine cover, V under the hood. This thing gives you 472 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. That is, well, I'll let the car, I kind of got to slam this hood to get it to close. Those numbers are no joke. This thing weighs around 3,860 pounds, and so we'll talk about if this really does feel as fast as those numbers say it might feel. But before we do that, quick look at the exterior, guys. It is, by definition, a sleeper car, in my opinion. It looks luxurious. It looks a bit sporty. You know, some sporty touches. For me, it's these headlights, the way that they're designed, the lines running down the hood. Hopefully you can see that well. But nothing screams, I'm a fast car. So if you line up with this thing and you see that V badge right there, just know you're probably going to lose. 255s in the front for the tire width, 18-inch wheels, big brakes, very fitting for the V here. Nice vent on the side, just very sleeper-like on the rear side of this car here. Blacked out spoiler, V badge, quad tip exhaust, but yet nothing crazy on this car, which is, that just, to me, that makes it all the more cool. All right, let's go ahead and hop inside of this thing. And my keys just fell. Presented with a V in the gauge cluster there. Cadillac. It's a little dim. Let's go ahead and start it up. Now, right away, I'm sure you noticed this has the 6-speed manual transmission. You can get a 10-speed automatic as an option in the CT4-V Blackwing, but really, yeah, I feel like you have to get the manual. Guys, if you want a manual 4-door sedan, I looked, I think the only options are a base G80 M3 with a manual, an Acura Integra Type S, a Subaru WRX. You have the CT4-V and the CT5-V Blackwing. Other than that, I think there's one, maybe two other options for 4-door sedans with a manual transmission that are remaining in 2026. And yes, the CT4-V Blackwing is still being made in 2026. This car came out in 2022. And this is a 2022 example that you're looking at right now, which I think is all the more better for this video because no major changes between 2022 and 2026. And if you want this car, again, you can get 2022s in the used market for about $45,000 to $50,000. Oh man. Okay, we'll talk about, is there any other car to even, because it's hard to, there's not much competition for this thing if you're only looking for 4-door sedans with a manual transmission. Off the bat, I'm going to claim this is a better value than a G80 M3 manual. And hopefully that's maybe a bold claim, but you'll understand as soon as we take off here. Okay, let's go ahead and just take off, make sure we are in. Let's start off with everything in comfort mode, because it's a Cadillac, guys. You probably want to experience both the luxury side of Cadillac and also the performance track sport side of this car, because it absolutely has both. Right as we get off here, guys, the clutch feels great. The shifter feels phenomenal as well. I would say this would be a pretty beginner-friendly manual transmission car to learn on. I have not driven manual in a while, and the whole time I've had this car, Have installed it, haven't really had any, I have zero complaints with the way that the clutch feels and the shifter feels. Very, very easy to use. All right, let's take off here. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Right when you hit 3,000 RPM, you feel the twin turbos kick in, and this car, hello please, this car absolutely, you feel that it has a lot of power. We will floor it in just a moment. But while we're at this red light, guys, taking a look at this interior, right when you step in here, first and foremost, the seats are very bolstery, so you feel like you are sitting in like a car you'd want to take on the track. Sure, it doesn't have carbon fiber all over the steering wheel. It is more of a luxury design here, so it's not all out like track oriented in terms of the feel inside of this interior. The leather gives it that luxury touch. You do have all of this carbon fiber down here, just so it reminds you and your passengers that this is not just a luxury sedan. Got your tiny little infotainment screen here, which does not have a whole lot of cool stuff, to be honest with you. It does have a performance drive review, which actually can record your laps. You do have your drive mode selectors right down here. So we have Sport, Tour, or I'm sorry, I went the wrong way. Sport, Tour, My Mode, Snow and Ice, and Track. If you do jump over, and you can see what, you know, all the differences in configuration there, which is steering, suspension, engine / your transmission, brake feel, engine sound, and PTM, which I don't know what that stands for, but I'll pop it up on the screen here. Oh, got a green light. Let's go. Oh, it's so, you put in very, very little effort, and this thing rockets. We left everyone way, way behind us, and I wasn't even necessarily trying to accelerate fast. So, yeah, just definitely keep an eye on that speedometer as you're driving your CT4-V Blackwing. Well, let's hit V mode. That's going to put everything in its most aggressive setting. Just add a nice touch of a button right here, which is very, very cool. Now, I will say we're not on a bumpy section right now, but guys, clicking this V mode makes a huge, huge difference in how this car feels. Steering, you get a lot more weight. You have to really turn it, you know, put more weight into the steering wheel. Going over bumps, this does have magnetic ride control, and that is what allows the suspension to work the wonders that it does. When you are in V mode, you feel every bump. Like, it is amplified maybe, I'd say, 5 times more than if you are in Tour mode. So, again, the blend of luxury and sportiness is very real inside of this thing. Oh, got a little loose there. Oh man, guys, I have 2 big things to say about how this car sounds. First of all, just casually accelerating, you know, it's a twin turbo V6. I wouldn't expect a crazy sound from just accelerating, but you just heard what happens when you bring this thing close to redline and let off the throttle. It goes crazy. We'll do some more where I let off at like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, and it really sounds like muffled thunder coming from behind you. But if you do that close to the red line, it really it opens itself up, and you hear every single gurgle and pop out of the exhaust. This thing is insanely quick, guys. I would almost call this like at the very top spectrum of quick, if that makes sense. I feel like fast and quick are like different, kind of different in their own ways. But when you're going off of the line from a red light or like light to light, it is at the top of what you would describe a car being quick. We're gonna hop on the interstate in a second as well, and we'll really get on it. Here we go. All right, let's go from first gear here. Ready? Oh my gosh, I hate how you have to bring it all the way up in the revs to get that sound, because I want to hear that all day, but I don't want to hold the car at 5,000 to 6,000 RPM all day. And hopefully you can hear that thunderous sound as I let off between 3,000 and 4,000. And also, guys, I do want to mention the feeling of driving a manual four-door sedan. It just feels so proper for some reason. When you sit inside of this thing, as you shift it, as you accelerate, you're like, yes, this thing is crazy fast. You get crazy sounds if you hold it between 5,000 to 6,000 and let off. You do kind of wish there was more play with the sound. You could fix that through upgrading the exhaust or deleting the muffler or something on this thing, because I've seen people who do that and they sound really, really good once you open this thing up. But at the same time, it's like you're driving around in a sleeper car. You're not begging for a bunch of attention. And if somebody does line up to race you, then you're just gonna have that mischievous smile on your face, because you're like, oh, you have no idea, bud. You have no idea. And I do want to say, this thing isn't it's not like Lamborghini Huracan fast. It's not C7 Corvette Z06 fast. But it is, again, it's that top spectrum of being quick. It is very, very quick. And it's one of those cars where you're like, yeah, I could have more power. Do I need it? You're gonna have to drive this thing for a while to really get used to this power and have this thing not be exciting. Hopefully we can make this light here. Beauty of this car is that's gonna be no problem. This thing is an absolute blast to do that in. Oh my gosh. All right, back on normal roads here. Let's put this thing back into tour mode. And so, guys, on the performance side, you can have a whole lot of fun inside of this car. With this suspension, it corners phenomenally. I don't have many opportunities because Florida is all just like a freaking grid state. But on some on-ramps and areas like kind of hidden, I have throwing it into the corners, you feel very confident doing so. Not only you know, driving it on the performance side though, if you just want to have a nice commuter, you can do that. First of all, it is a twin turbo V6, so gas mileage is going to be pretty decent. It's not, you're not going to be spending a crazy amount on gas. I mean, it has a live indicator on MPG. Look, accelerating uphill, we're at like, yeah, between 16 to 20. That's not bad. And from a comfort perspective, yes, it's mainly these seats that give you the feeling of, okay, this isn't really supposed to be an all-out comfort car, but they're not so intrusive that you can't, you know, sit back and just kind of enjoy life. It does have adjustable side bolsters and thigh bolsters, so you can adjust those to meet whatever driving needs you have at the time, which is very, very cool. So you know, just commuting, this thing would be a blast. It doesn't necessarily have to be a car that you take on mountain roads or on a track, although that would be really, really fun to do so. It can just be a car, I don't know why I put this thing in neutral. It can just be a car that you drive from point A to point B and you enjoy the shifty experience. Sometimes you'll end up the first one at a red light and you take off. If you do happen to get into a race, you're gonna stand a very, very solid chance. So this is kind of like the do-it-all type of car. You know, transporting a family, dropping your kids off, grocery runs, mountain runs. I really, really love this thing, and not to mention the price point that this car is at. Again, 45 to 50,000. Can we make this? Of course we can, because we just tapped the gas a little bit. There we go. $45,000 to $50,000, and you get not the fastest thing in the world, but in my opinion, it meets all of the needs you could possibly have. And it makes me wonder, why would I even bother getting an $80,000 G80 M3? I'm sure that car is going to be a bit faster. It'll launch off the, well, maybe not, because you can't get an X-Drive or competition if you get a manual transmission M3. I look at this car, I'm like, I don't even know what to compare this to. Because I don't know where the competition is. Feel free to drop your opinion in the comments if there is a car you'd put side by side with this thing. But to me, it's the base model G80 M3 manual transmission. And with how much cheaper this is, I'm just leaning in the direction of choosing this. So with that being said, guys, please let me know your thoughts on this car in the comments below. This thing is freaking awesome. It feels great in every way, and again, depending on the drive mode you have it in, it meets the needs of how you are trying to drive so well, particularly, again, with the suspension. If we can, let's do one more acceleration here. I believe we can. Here we go. Oh my gosh, the first and second gear pulls in this thing are so nice. But yeah, with that being said, guys, appreciate y'all for watching. Let me know if you have any questions about how this thing feels to drive in the comments below, and I'll see you very, very soon in the next video. Peace out.